Hello everyone, I am Solomon G. This is a request review of an adult video game called Captain Firehawk in the Laser Love Situation. This specially themed bullet hell game released on February 9th, 2024 and is sold on Steam. Normally it costs $9.99, but I picked it up along with the 71-page PDF art book for $9.78 in mid-May 2026. This will not include spoilers, so details will be vague. Additionally, this game is classified as adult. It includes fully new characters engaging in coitus to include orgies with aliens. However, we are on YouTube, so I will not show it here. Read the written review on my blog for more comprehensive analysis. Per the initial Kickstarter proposal, the developers described it as a playful shoot-'em-up/strip-'em-up with a deep, engaging storyline and subversive narrative. The player controls protagonist Captain Firehawk as he valiantly battles the invading forces, gigantic, sexy women on the warpath. Shooting down their ships and stripping the armor off of their massive female pilots, he must fend off each assault in order to return peace to the galaxy. The developers designed the characters using a 1990s anime aesthetic, as seen here. Starting from the far left is Emmy, to right of her is Captain Firehawk. Players will learn that he has several other aliases as well. And lastly, on the far right is an NPC called Minka. You will see most, if not all, these characters naked as the action progresses. Well, I guess the robot called Dr. Unit is already naked now, but don't tell anybody I gave you some cheesecake for free. Dr. Unit's job is to film Captain Firehawk's intimate interactions with the giantesses. Game includes American English, Brazilian Portuguese, French, Latin American Spanish, and simplified Chinese subtitles, plus a censored mode in English. Portland Caviar, a small two-person team, developed the game. Portland Caviar consists of Lexi Caviar, game designer and coder, and Roxy Caviar, game designer and artist. This was an impressive effort for two people who had never made a game before. They organized a crowdfunding campaign, delivered a competent game, and then responded to feedback by making significant updates after the initial release. In the game, you pilot a small spaceship with unlimited ammunition fighting a variety of enemy spaceships. Of note, there is a slight wrinkle to the gameplay. The developers described one of the features of this game as non-punitive yet challenging game mechanics in the Kickstarter proposal. Non-punitive in this case means that no matter how many hits you take, you will not die. Instead of death, each hit costs you $5, which equates to losing 5 coins, and those hits will also remove power-ups. You need to avoid hits to satisfy several achievements. Furthermore, it is important to gather a certain amount of coins in order to progress to the next stage. However, to earn one achievement called Smashed, you actually must avoid collecting coins. You fight a number of enemy waves until you reach the giantess. Once you reach her, a few more waves will attack where you try to shoot off all the giantess's clothes, called armor in the Kickstarter proposal. While destroying the giantess' attire, an enemy boss will arrive with a large health bar on the bottom of the screen. Of note, the giantess herself never attacks the player. You are on an automated path, so often you have to wait a while until another piece of apparel is on screen. Additionally, you must be careful not to defeat the boss too soon. If you destroy the boss before the giantess is quote-unquote ready, ergo naked, then you will lose. So while you're waiting for the screen to come back around to eliminate the last few karmats, you must be careful not to hit the boss. Therefore, defeating the boss too quickly will result in the giantess swallowing the player's spaceship and expelling them from the rear. Undoubtedly, some players will appreciate the vor aspect of failure. Trying not to kill the boss is a counterintuitive approach to success, and it felt a little tedious to dodge their attacks without being able to counterattack. The plan is to strip giantesses until they are naked, then pleasure them until they shrink back to normal. Alas, the actual process of pleasuring the giantesses is not shown, but instead that mixed-size hanky-panky happens off-screen. That is, until you unlock with 100%. Then you get to see Captain Firehawk work his magic. Although those scenes do not play after you complete the chapter, you have to select Gallery from the main menu, then select Dr. Unit Private Gallery to see a few minutes of Captain Firehawk with ladies who are much taller than he is. All told, there are 6 giantesses to battle then bed. It is also important to note that 100% is misleading. That does not mean collect every coin and destroy every enemy. Instead, per a developer comment in the Steam Community tab, this percentage is related to how much money you end the stage with. It's a cumulative number to avoid it becoming too difficult. I played this game on a desktop PC running Windows 10. The game is playable using just a keyboard, but I found the best results using a controller. Specifically, I stole a controller from my PS5 and used that with minimal fuss. Additionally, when replaying chapters, you can skip dialogue by holding down either the escape key or the return key. The gauge on the left tracks how many coins the player has collected. A certain amount is required to pay for fuel to proceed to the next stage. Furthermore, players can earn up to 3 stars by collecting additional coins. The feminine outline on the right displays how much clothing is left on the giantess. Surprisingly, it does not indicate where the remaining garments are located. For example, it could have shown that 2 bracelets were left and must be destroyed. Instead, the outline gradually turns color from red to green as you destroy clothing. Regarding the story, at best it was merely serviceable, and at worst it was unnecessarily confusing. For example, Captain Firehawk's background felt needlessly convoluted. Players learned that Captain Firehawk suffers from memory loss. Emmy called him Captain Flamehawk at one point, and this confused him because he's unsure of his own identity. Later on, Captain Firehawk meets someone who claims to be his father, and furthermore, that guy claims that Firehawk is heir to the supreme throne of Avalon Prime. But then players learn that the guy was just pretending to be Captain Firehawk's father to motivate Captain Firehawk to fight another giantess. Maybe all that was supposed to be funny? Did I miss the real explanation for his memory loss? However, the positives outweighed the negatives. Overall, I recommend Captain Firehawk in the Lazy Love Situation to giantess fans. It is a short game, but worth $10. This shoot 'em up / strip 'em up can be beat in an afternoon, but watching the 100% giantess scenes is a strong incentive to replay it. That's it for today, folks. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you are over 18 and would like to read editorials, interviews with artists and authors, and written reviews, then hop over to thereshegrows.net. I'll see you there.